Hello.
Yo, what's going on, man?
Hey.
Oh, hold on, this stream echo's fucking me up. It's like,
Hmm?
that's... Sorry, I was just echoing on your stream and I just freaked
Oh,
me out.
yeah, yeah. No, I know how that is. No worries. So, how you been? How's Melee?
Dude, I've been good. How was your workout?
It was good. It was
Nice,
definitely
man.
good. I was like feeling pretty tired, but once you get started, then no reason not to go ham, you know?
Yeah, exactly. What was I gonna say? Man, it's been pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Since Spud quit, it's been a bit of a coast.
I didn't know
Um,
this. Wait, how long has it been since Spud quit?
over a year now, I want to say.
Okay, yeah, then I think I did know that he quit. I know he quit to play like Ultimate, but I just assumed he would come back.
No, he came back for like a day or two and we played a bit, and then he didn't like that, and he just
Hmm.
left.
Okay.
To be honest, like I was kind of like, I think he just has his like own problems with the game. Um, that he's just like, no, this game's lame, and he just decided to quit, which is fair, to each their own. But I've really just been focusing on like building the mid level because I think it's so hard to get better without other people to improve with, right? So I'm
Mm-hmm.
just trying to build up like our mid level players at the moment, the ones who are posting the triangles in the chat. That's them.
Yeah, that's a hard journey. I've tried really hard to help the mid-level players around here, and it's always really tough to get people out of their kind of mental prisons in this game, if you will.
It is tough, but these guys are pretty receptive,
That's
and
sick.
yeah, they're definitely just.
Let's go
I can't
triangles
get
in
over.
the
I'm gonna
chat.
close the chat. I can't look at the fucking
Like the
chat.
whole community is here. We, the dancing triangles, are here
Yeah,
to support
they're
you.
rising up, dude. No, but no, it's been pretty good. But my main thing is, like I said, I'm trying to build them up to have that sort of perspective on the game, but it's hard to communicate with other people on like a higher level. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
I can't really talk about higher level things because like they're all struggling with their own problems. And this isn't to say I'm far like above, right?
I
It's
know what
just
you're
like
talking
there's just
about.
some
I
things I
get it.
can't talk to them about. But that's what the main thing is. Like I'm kind of struck. I have these VODs where I'm like playing the second best player at the moment, Sock my son, and I'm just like, yeah, okay, so I'm kind of winning these, but I'm still losing stock, so something has to be going wrong. So I kind of want to go over it with someone else who might see something I'm missing, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, that sounds good. Uh, how's the volume, everybody? Is you sound good? Let's see. I just didn't check the volume yet. A-okay? Alright, sounds good. Okay, so Discord screen share is working, I think. You can
Yeah, I
see it?
think I can see it. Yeah, it's good.
Okay, great. Alright, let's go. So which one are you?
I am Blue Fox.
Blue? Okay. Already kind of a weird start. So, like, what is your thought process here?
So I was just full hopping to see what he'd do. I think I didn't think he'd whiff punish me because I was trying to play the mix up where he would think I would drill there, right? So I was trying to empty land so we couldn't whiff punish the drill,
Mm-hmm.
if that makes sense. So I was
Okay.
trying to empty land into a shine because I thought he would like try to attack after a whiff punish. So I was trying
Mm-hmm.
to do it just low enough. Or I was going to go for a wave land back, but I thought maybe the empty land would be good. But I didn't
Mm-hmm.
react to him running in. He doesn't really do these running shines much. So this is kind
Mm-hmm.
of like compared to the other games. So I was like, well, that's new.
Mm-hmm.
And that definitely is something that can become a stock. So I think I've like gone over this, and my perception was attacking at a double jump and like not retreating to top lat is not that good. A lot of the
Yeah,
time.
yeah, just this entire situation of like going for this full hop. If you're not going to commit to landing out of this full hop, you should just always be double jumping to the platform. Because
Okay.
so as more of like a general rule, just think of like positioning. Like cuz you're saying like you want to have ways to get better that don't necessarily depend on like your opponents, right? So
Right.
one thing you can do is think about positioning of like what are my strong positions and what are my weak positions. And as you use up resources, so you jump is a resource, but you use that, this is fine. So if you're going to do this double jump, you're putting yourself in this spot, and it's like if you pause right here, this is like pretty dead neutral. But now you're here and you have no double jump and you're on your way down. You've used
Right.
up all resources. You have nothing you can do here. Your best case is that he doesn't punish you, and your worst case is that you like lose a stock or something. So you just have to be really, like, if you're going to commit or use resources in any way, there needs to be a potential reward there for you.
Right, okay. I think I tried to milk spots like that where I've pressed like something like that full hop and I'm like, okay, well I'm gonna get it, like I'm already here, might as well get an interaction out of this. And it's just like, how can I weasel like a good interaction out of this net terrible spot, right? Like post double jump landing. I'm like, how can I weasel something out of this, you know? But instead of just like resetting, I'm like, oh, I'm already here, might as well fucking.
So I mean, I think if you're gonna do something here, you should at least do like a fade back drill. Like if you're already stuck here after the double jump, you should pick like a drift and do a drill, because at least then, like, you've already committed, right? That's what you're saying. You're trying to make the best out of a situation where you've already committed. So you might as well, like, there has to be some world in which something good happens.
Right. I honestly thought he would expect the drill. Like, I thought I was trying to be like on that level 2 shit where I'm like, he's gonna try to whiff punish a drill here, and I'll just like be in no like lag at all by empty landing, but it was bad because he just did the running shine, and the running shine also covers like waveland back as well. Like him running shining just has so many. It's just a better EV overall than like me not throwing out a drill, right? It's like a stupid hard read that can get me killed for no reason.
Okay, so this is fine. Like this was to cover like the side beyond the center stage, right? You just like slightly messed up. Yeah, that's just a 50-50. That's totally fine. No reason to do this. This is just because everybody around you is bad. Like, he is going to be invincible off of his ledge dash.
Yeah.
So, a lot of times what I've been talking to people a lot about lately is that, like, you want to play in a way such that your VOD analysis of your play later will be the most useful. Because, like, it's not about this set now, you know, it's about 40 sets in the future or 100 sets in the future, how good you are. And so a lot of times there's stuff like this, which is like, if you mess it up, or like if he hits you out of it, the only thing I can ever tell you in VOD review, oh, thanks Trey for the raid. Trey for the raid. Trade for the raid. But, and if the only thing you can ever get out of watching this VOD is not to do this. And so, like, anytime there's situations like that, you should avoid them just for the aspect, like maybe in like a tournament match and this is like crazy high stakes and you think they're gonna miss it because they've been missing a bunch, this isn't too bad of an idea. But when your goal is purely on improvement and you know you need to get better, going for stuff like this just ends up being like kind of useless, because it's useless on review. I like this. Okay. I like this dash dance into the corner here. This is very like that dash dance. That was crazy. Yeah. That would have tricked me.
Yeah, we play it like Sock's gotten wave like just cleaner overall. He does that dash dance as well, and it's something we've just been encouraging each other to do, because like we do try to just like up smash each other's like max ledge dash JC shines all the time, but that dash dance obviously just fucking eats it alive. What do you think about this get up attack? I like it a lot.
Yeah, I'm looking. I decided to take a look. Right here. Back air.
The cover's high as well, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's okay. The main problem with it is that I think there are situations in which he can probably DI, like SDI this up and then maybe shorten to the ledge. It's not a bad spot, but really, like, you kind of want to avoid it. Like, the correct response here is after you down smash here, you go here, grab ledge, double jump from ledge, weak back air here instead of the strong back air into an Armada Shine, because that just cleans up the stock nice and quick.
Right, okay, so you would intentionally go for a weak bear there.
Yeah, I'll almost always try to weak bear this. Like, the strong bear is kind of like a situation where, like, you know, it's better than nothing, but if you can set up a weak bear here or something like that, that's usually better.
Okay, I've never thought to go for weak bear, actually. That's interesting.
Yeah, weak bear into Armada Shine is really, really good. Let's see.
Oh, that's just a miss JC.
Okay, that was really nice. Nice. Excellent. Great, great. Nothing to say there.
That weak Nair is Sok is someone who's cognizant of that 50-50. Sorry, if we just pause a sec. That weak Nair is it may just look like the classic DI 50-50, but like I'm trying to be intentional about this with him because he usually holds out. And I think in this VOD in particular, you'll see him hold out and like just cop the bear. And I love when like players are cognizant of what's happening, right? Because like you can just weak Nair up smash like everyone because they don't want to die. But when you hit it against someone who knows what's going on and you like mix them up, it's such a good feeling, dude. You know what I mean? Like
no,
they
definitely.
finally like they understand what's going on. You're not just hitting the classic confirm because they're going to be holding in because they're scared of bear.
I also think this is an excellent one because most people here, myself included, would have done full hop double jump weak Nair and dropped it. And then this one is so much trickier because it's just completely unreactable from the bear.
Yeah, you can't.
So that was really, really good. So yeah, good job on that. There's a few small things that I'm kind of noticing that I'll more about the neutral that I'll get to in a second. I just want to finish watching this game first of all. Let's see, down tilt at this percent is pretty useless.
I don't know why down to this. Interesting.
Yeah, it's just a habit a lot of times, but you have to just recognize like what your percents are and what combos you're gonna get out of stuff like that.
Right, for sure.
There is a big fundamental thing that I do want to talk about in a second.
Sure. Myself and the Triangle Gang are very eager to hear.
Yeah, there it is again. Okay.
There it is again, yeah, where I'm attacking. I think I know, like, just that spot there.
Okay, so what do you think I'm going to say?
Well, one thing I'm noticing, I'm probably not identical to what you're going to say, but it's just like I'm always just attacking this spot out of, I guess, antsiness or just like wanting some action, or just like under the side plant, but not fully into the corner. Like I just constantly attack there with like a drill or a nair, just wanting something if he's dash dancing in the corner. And it's like, he's not punishing me for it, but I know better players will. And it reminds me of when you were just like, oh, you're the guy with the bad nairs.
I love that like stuck with you for so long.
That was the first thing you fucking ever said to me. I was like, fuck this cunt. I'm like, Sky, fuck this little rat. I'm like, I hated it, dude. But it did stick with me. It's just
like, welcome to America.
Yeah, welcome to America. But I was like, what's it called? It's something that I just do when I'm like, okay, don't worry about that.
Yeah. No, I know. I'm not gonna talk about that. You know, you really don't want to do 17 wave shines in a row. No, just kidding.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know what that.
Anyway, thanks for the $50. No, just kidding.
Yeah, TY, dude. Two things I really struggle with are foxes on side plat, and that's like the main thing I feel like I struggle with, and I also don't know how to full hop properly a lot of the time.
Okay, so this was the first time this entire game where you didn't do the thing, where you didn't do the bad thing. Yeah, good mix up.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, great. Okay, so the special thing about this neutral interaction, and I think this is like a really big thing that's kind of holding you back if these are like your practice games, is this is the first time this game you've won off of a legitimate outplay.
Right. No,
so every time so far in this game, every opening you've had, at least the ones I noticed, were you do a rhythm and then you say, subconsciously, your brain says, okay, after I do this specific rhythm, I know my practice partner is either here, here, or here, so I will choose one, and then I'll put a move there. And this is just something you can't avoid when you practice with a single person a lot. It happens to me with KJH a lot, because we practice a lot.
Yeah.
And so, but it's something you have to, like, very consciously avoid at all times, is, like, because it has no use outside of feeling like you're good at the game. Like, it feels good because you're like, I played neutral for a second, I hit him with a move, and it feels like you did something good, but you're not. It's not something that is like universally useful. It's not something that will help you improve versus like a grand majority of players. So
I feel like. Sorry, you can.
No, go for it.
I was gonna say I do feel like, just with the environment here, something I've really fallen into is it's become more of like a puzzle solving game. You know what I mean? Like,
what do you mean by that?
If I do X, like this will happen. So I just have to do this. I just have to put this piece in place here, and like that's the game. You know what I mean? Like you're saying how like you get habits from practice partners. It's like I'll have like mental habits for when I play, say like Donnie or something like that, or just like like or just like other players that I play a lot. I'm like, okay, this guy does this, so I just have to do this, and then this will happen, and then it's just like I've solved the puzzle. You know? Like and then like I do that and I'm like, I don't know how I can improve from here. It's like like I don't understand. I understand that I have to detach that, like you're saying, but I find it so difficult, man. It's like I just know that situation's gonna happen, right? Like okay, like I do this thing, it's probably bad, but then he'll do this which I can punish or something like that. I can get my opening from there, and it's, oh man, it's fucking difficult. It's really difficult to just like not see the results for. Like, to just not see the results and be like, this means I'm doing good. You know what I mean?
It is extremely difficult. Like, the position you are in is it's very difficult to get better from this, in, like, the environment that you're in. And a lot of it is just dependent on, like, having a very, like, what's the word? Like, you want to have, like, a very, like... You need, like, a very structured mentality where, like, you're not really playing the game in the same way that most people get to play Melee, where they just try to win, and then the more people you beat, you do a good job. Because when everybody is worse than you, you have to figure out what you need to improve on. They don't show it to you by hitting you, you know?
Yeah.
So, like... This is what I want to help you with, basically, is like, if you can get all your openings through outplays, and then, so like, let's say, so like, basically, so this was something that kind of came up recently where KJH was playing against LSD, and LSD is not known currently for his giant brain to neutral game, and so... He has a lot of really bad habits in neutral. And so what Kalindi was doing is he had like this thing where he short hops in and he wavelands back, LSD whiffs a grab, and he runs in and up smashes. And so it's like, because that was hitting every time, he just stopped doing it and was playing him entirely without that wave dash back up smash. And then, you know, once every like 10 games, I remember he was like, I'm gonna hit him with old reliable, and he just jumped in and wavelands back, and of course LSD grabs and he just up smashes him. But no, it was pretty funny. But the more times you don't do, like, you need to figure out ways to create experience for yourself. And so like, when you know something that works against someone, if you really want to improve, you have to not do it. And it's really difficult. You have to find... It's kind of like... I don't really know a good description. You know, it's like if you're trying to improve against someone in like... I don't know if you... Have you played ping pong before?
Yeah, yeah.
Or like tennis. It's like basically if somebody has a really weak backhand and you know you can just win the point by hitting it to their backhand, but you're trying to improve, a lot of times playing towards their strengths exclusively kind of almost lets you, like, it lets you play against a better player than you would be if you were hitting to their weaknesses.
Right. McLeod actually asked a good question in chat. So you said this specifically is what you would consider an outplay, right? What would you define that? How would you define that differently comparatively to a punishing a player habit? I think that's a really good question. Like, what was outstanding to you on that one comparatively to the others?
Okay, so I'm gonna go into the specifics right now about like this game and like these openings.
Sure.
As like a general thing, it's like once you know, like, okay, I got this opening from outplaying, if somebody keeps letting you get that same outplay, you kind of just have to yell at them to not let you get it. And if they aren't learning, you just have to avoid that specific situation and try to get it in other spots. Like, you have to basically be treating people as, like, practice bots, as unfun as that is.
Okay, no, that's fair enough. So just...
So yeah, let me explain the difference between this situation and the other situation. So right here, okay, let's see. So you're here, you come back, you jump here, dash dance, you threaten platform stuff, but you don't commit to it. He comes off the platform, you dash in, he reacts thinking you're rushing in, he jumps here. Now he's kind of committed to this spot. He's not 100% committed. You decide, oh, aha, I can bait out this back air, and you whiff punish the back air. So, like,
Okay.
you moved around for a second, you threatened things, but you didn't commit to it, and you got him to swing, and then you punished it. So that is, you know, it's a whiff punish, but it's not just him throwing out a move for a dumb reason. It's like him throwing out a move because you convinced him that that move was a good idea, and then you have grabbed him for it. So you can be like, how did I get this opening? What I usually tell people is you can tell it's an outplay because you can explain in simple terms why you got the opening. Because a lot of times people will be like, I just kind of felt it, so I full hop nared at him, you know? And like, that is not an outplay necessarily. That's not the type of outplay that really helps you learn and grow. That's just kind of like you knew the guy's habits enough, or you knew generalized habits enough that you could get it. So like, let's ignore this little first part of the game. And okay, so you poke with that shine, make a mistake here, I'm not going to worry about it. This, I guess, was just nothing yet. I'm not going to count anything yet. It was a bunch of like flubs. Okay, so you go for that up smash. Okay, so then right here, let's say this shine. So for this shine to hit, so you're going for something, and like, yeah, there's gonna be points where you're just kind of throwing out moves because you're moving around, and that's okay. But your goal is just to like move it as much as you can in the direction where you're trying to outplay every time. Okay, and so like right here, you do this running shine. What was the reasoning behind doing this running shine?
I have to watch the situation.
Okay, so he jumps up like this.
Yeah.
Ledge dash. He's right here. You dash back. You dash in. And you running shine.
Yeah, I was trying to hit his the front of his dash dance because I thought he might go for a running shine to cover a dash back. That's what I was thinking, at least.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he would overshoot there.
Mm-hmm. So
that's what I thought.
Yeah, no, that's fine. That's good. So it makes sense why you're going for this. So it's not like an awful situation, but it is inherently you are committing to an option while your opponent has not committed to anything. And so, yeah, in a match where you're kind of doing mix-ups and somebody is like, you're you know, basically there's everything that I'm going to say during this lesson is strictly to help you improve and improve while practicing, and is not necessarily exactly how you want to play when you're doing everything for the W. Because if you have a feeling that this guy is going to be right here and you want to shine him, you know, don't like hesitate to do it in like a major or something. But in terms of practice, he hasn't yet committed to anything. And you are now committing to this shine without any... You haven't tricked him into doing something yet. Like, think about it, like, you get your opening when you trick him into putting himself in a bad position. So he hasn't put himself in a bad position yet, so you going for this attack is a gamble.
Right, okay.
So at a high level, a lot of times what happens in this game is... This is sort of how neutral works. Is I say... I'm player A and somebody else is player B, and I say, okay, so I want you, player B, to just throw out a really dumb move. Like, let's say, full hop approaching drill, and I just dash back, and I dash in, and I grab it. And I just do that 4 times in a row, and it's like, oh, that's great. Like, you just sort of gave me that opening because you committed to an option that I can reactably avoid, and then I punished you for it. And that's, like, very cut and dry, very simple. And as you improve at the game... You say, come on, player B, throw out your random move, and then I'll punish you for it. And he goes, nah, I'm not gonna. You do it to me. You throw out a random move and I'll hit you for it. And you say, well, I'm not going to do that either. We've all been through this. We've all lost hundreds of games from throwing out bad moves. We're not going to do it anymore. And so now you've reached the point where neither of you are committed, and neither of you wants to throw out a dumb move because the other guy might punish it. So this is theoretically just an infinite stalemate because both players are dash dancing and they go, you commit, no you commit, no you commit, you know? So, but thankfully, not everything in this game is reactable. And so your goal is to present your opponent with unreactable threats. And so, for instance, something that's really basic that Marth mains will do is their opponent is shielding. And what makes sense at a low level is my opponent is shielding, I am going to dash up and grab them. But eventually you reach a point where the player, they're shielding, they know they're shielding, they know you see them shielding, so if you just dash in and grab, you're the one who is foolishly committing. And so the common response from the Marth is dash in, dash back, Fox or whoever spot dodges, and then they dash in and grab, and that's the outplay. So just because you're shielding, the other person doesn't deserve the grab on you. They deserve the grab once they bait the spot dodge by making it look like they're going to commit. So they're going, hey, you know what? I changed my mind. I am going to commit to this really dumb attack. And you go, great. And you move to the position that will punish their dumb attack. But they don't do their dumb attack, and now your movement to counter their option is a commitment on your end. And they use, like, let's say you wave dash back or roll, and they use that to take space. Or you shield, and they use that to pressure you while you're in your shield. How much sense is this making? I can phrase it in a different way.
I'm understanding what you're saying, but I'm also kind of struggling to find, I guess, once again, separate the difference between outplay and punishing player habits. So, by your definition, right, like, waiting for the opponent to commit and forcing them to commit to an action with a low commitment option is an outplay. Is that sensible? Like, just doing, like, 0 commitment options until they commit, you would, like, making them have to commit is an outplay. Is
yes, yeah.
Okay, so in your hypothetical when you were saying with KJH and LSD, where he just does a short hop in, wave dash back, and LSD grabs, right? Would you consider that an outplay? Okay, but then you were also saying separating the difference between getting consistent outplays and player punishing habits, right? But again, in your hypothetical, or not even hypothetical, just something that actually happened, he stopped doing it, his outplay, in quotes, because it was just getting it every time. So I guess, in a sense, even if you do get consistent outplays, you'd have to understand if they were, like, yeah, you outplayed him, but he just does the option every time, right? So I guess the outplay itself isn't a universal, like, this is the best thing to do every single time for improvement standards, right?
So,
if you did that every single time, nothing would advance. But I'm also struggling to try to... I guess it's also hard to just, like, sacrifice these outplays, and I don't know, it's just like, yeah, you could just, like, bomb the aerial, but then I guess at that point you're just bombing the aerial, right?
What do you mean by bombing the aerial?
So say, like, so he's grabbing you because, like, he thinks you're gonna bomb a shit aerial, right? Yeah, so, like, do you just keep dash dancing, like, until he grabs? Like, at what point is it just like, I actually can't, like, get anything from this anymore because I've sacrificed playing the game at this point, right? That's something that's really hard for me. Like, I don't know what to give up, like, consistently in regards to outplays, because again, like, situations like that can be outplays before the game just evolves into, okay, so this guy's habit I have unlocked, this guy's habit I have unlocked, like, what do I have left? You know what I mean? Like, if you can't do anything else, like, it's just so tricky. Like, I could drive myself mad. Like, is that a habit? It's like, am I outplaying him right now? Like, it's something I'm
so
really
I
trying
think
to learn.
when you get an opening, a specific type of opening, too many times on a player, you can kind of feel it when it gets, like, boring because you know it's gonna work. Then I would say to avoid it. And so what you can do is you can kind of push the match into a different situation. Like, basically, instead of doing short hop in, wave land back, he just doesn't engage in that situation, and he'll play other mix-ups there. Because, like...
Okay, so yeah. You just have to forego the situation. I think I understand.
Yeah, you just have to avoid it, because remember, you're not... you're not playing the person in front of you. The person in front of you is simply, you know, they're basically a computer that is a little bit smarter than a regular computer, and you want to use them to practice for when you play, like, let's say they're a Marth, and when I am playing a bad Marth, I am not trying to beat them. I am using them to shadow box for Zane. And when they give up certain situations, I will try to play to a different situation and look for ways that I can practice situations such that I can eventually have more patterns built to, you know, outplay Zane eventually.
Right, of course. I guess having that skeleton's really helpful for yourself as well, right? Because you've also just played Zane. But I have to, like, download the skeleton through watching VODs and just be like, I think Zane would hit me here. You know what I mean? Or, like, I think
it is notably what you are trying to do is extremely difficult, but it's been proven to not be impossible.
It's definitely not impossible,
but it is very difficult, and it requires a lot of discipline. But I think just watching these, let's go through some more of these, because, you know, even versus players who are like the worse someone is than you, the harder it is to get good practice. You know,
right?
So if Sock is not too much worse than you, there are a lot more opportunities for you to get good practice against him.
Yeah, for sure.
So, okay, so, like, let's look at this spot. So you react to that tournament winner, you hit it with the Nair, that's fine. Okay, so now you're here, you're in neutral. Your goal should be, how do I get a clean outplay? AKA, how do I get my opponent to commit to an option such that, like, you want your opponent to think that they're maintaining an even neutral game, but secretly, they have given up, unintentionally, they have put themselves in a bad position for you.
Right.
And so, like, right here, you're running around in neutral for a bit, you're playing the neutral, that's good. So he whiffs this grab, that would have been a good spot to punish, you know, but he doesn't whiff the grab, or let's say, you know, you don't punish it, it's fine. So he just kind of hits you there. So let's look at this spot. Yeah, like, okay, so this is just kind of scrambles. There's maybe not too much to take out of here, but it's definitely not. Let's look at the next stop. It's hard to really say there because it's kind of like a pure scramble where you're just like really close to each other. There were a few spots that came up that I wanted to talk about.
Right.
So there's that shine again. So you're doing this shine. You haven't convinced him to do anything yet. What you could do maybe is, you know, run up to around this distance. Maybe you do a fade back aerial. See if he tries to punish it. You need to give your opponent, so like at this distance, he has nothing to work off of. Like this, when you're dash dancing over here, he has nothing to work off of. So there's no reason for him to commit. You need to give him reasons to commit by doing options that appear threatening or committal in some way. So by going for like a drill here, or maybe you run up close and then you full hop, you're trying to keep yourself safe like you're doing with this dash dance, but you need to also provide potential areas for your opponent to mess up and kind of swing at something that's not there.
Give him any source of stimuli other than me dash dancing in the corner and being like, all right, I've been there long enough. Let's attack from the corner.
Yeah, like you have to be giving him a reason to try to swing at you. So here it is again, where he's in the corner. I'm gonna ignore this for a second. So you're right here, and you're like, okay. So now we're dash dancing in neutral. This is dead neutral right here, and you're just like, wouldn't it be nice if this drill just smacked him in the face? And it's like, he's dash dancing. He hasn't swung, he hasn't jumped, he hasn't shielded, he hasn't done a move, he hasn't done anything that would give you a, like, legit opening. Like, this isn't a legit opening, this is a, like, a hope-based opening.
Yep.
Because you just throw it out, and so he actually plays the situation correctly here, where he's like, so obviously he messes up this, he tries to up tilt, so he's doing this dash dance, you jump in, and he goes, oh, nice, I can just avoid that and punish. So he got the outplay here, because you committed. And did he do, the thing is, did he do something to really make you do that drill? No. So it's not really a good outplay. It's not going to teach him a lot, because he didn't trick you into swinging, you just swung for no reason, you know?
Right.
But, like, this is an example of a situation. You're dash dancing here. This is a chance to improve in neutral. This is a chance to improve in neutral by saying, what can I get away with? Can I go here? Can I poke in a little bit? Can I poke in a little bit more? Can I do a fade back aerial? If I run in and full hop onto the platform, where will he go? If I full hop like this, does he run to center? If I short hop off the platform here, what does he do? Look for those while keeping yourself safe. Try to find areas where you might be able to trick him into committing to something.
Okay, this is making a lot of sense. Yeah, I'm definitely understanding.
And like, yeah, so the examples will probably continue happening where it's like right here. Okay, so this is fine. So now you're here. He's in the corner. He's up tilting, and you're just like nair. And it's like, okay. So on one hand, this isn't such an awful nair because he's kind of stuck in the corner. So in one sense, he's like sort of committed because he's already kind of in a bad spot. But a lot of times doing this against a really, really good player, they will either, you know, perfectly dash dance into the corner and hit you out of this. Maybe they'll go to ledge and ledge dash. Maybe they'll full hop over this and hit you. So when he's in the corner and his options are limited, threatening this nair and trying to get him to flinch and, you know, let's say you dash dance here, and then instead of going for this nair... Yeah, and someone in chat said Andy's only at 22%, right? So he could just CC shine you and then you would die. So it's like right here, instead of going for this nair, you know that this nair is a threat, which is why you're doing it. Like your brain sees this and you go, ooh, nair is really good there. That doesn't mean it's time to nair.
Yeah, no, I feel that.
When you see the situation and you go, ooh, nair is really good there, you go, I bet I can trick him into thinking I'm gonna do that nair. And then when you dash dance here and you don't do the nair and he flinches and tries to avoid your nair, you might, not guaranteed, you might have an opening to hit him. Because maybe he'll full hop and back air here, or just full hop up and you see him full hopping and you full hop up air and now you have this big thing. Or he drills in place to avoid this and you just dash dance around it and grab him.
Right, okay.
And then this was just a fantastic combo. Great job. I would have missed this. I would have not hit this combo.
I gotta hit him, dude.
Yeah.
Do something.
And okay, so yeah, you know,
I do that full hop again. I don't know. It's just
I'm kind of gonna hammer
sickening
on this point a little bit for like the next few minutes.
No, keep going, dude. Slam it in. It's disgusting.
But like, so here we are again, dead neutral. Nobody's committed. Your goal is to trick him into doing something stupid. You're like, come on, buddy, do something stupid. But instead, you're like, I'm just gonna full hop up and drill. So the thing is, this full hop is not a bad full hop. And I tell people a lot, full hop in the Fox Ditto is incredibly strong. Like, think of how strong the full hop is against Falco. It's actually stronger in the Ditto. I've talked with Cody about this. We agree the full hop is stronger in the Ditto. And the reason is that Fox actually doesn't have an option to hit your full hop other than full hopping himself. Or maybe dash dance grabbing. But if you do an empty full hop right here, he can't ever punish you with anything other than a full hop, and you can just double jump to the platform and get away. So doing this full hop is nice because you dash dance, you full hop up, maybe he'll whiff. Like maybe you did this little dash dance, you do a little rhythm mix up, and he thinks you're gonna run all the way to the center and do that running shine again, like right here. So maybe he runs up and he up smashes here, and you full hopped, you can react to him up smashing and then drill him, and then you're like, nice, I got the outplay because I tricked him into up smashing and then I punished him for it. But by going for this drill, all he did was whiff punish your drill, which he should have done. But you know, this is also giving him bad practice because all he's doing is dash dancing until you throw out a bad aerial. You know, like just look at this from his perspective. Just watch this from Sock's perspective. This is just you just dash dance. This Fox drills, and you're like, oh, nice, I'll just hit him.
Yeah, I'd grab the shit out of myself. I'd be like, this guy's a fucking idiot. This guy's bombing shit.
So it's just something to keep in mind. And then like, okay, so this.
Yeah.
He's in the corner again. So this is great. Look at this. He's in the corner, and you're like, okay, sick. He's feeling pressured. He's in the corner. I'm dash dancing. This is great. Seems like his controller might be messing up the up tilt a little bit. So the thing is when you're doing this dash dance, it looks like you're kind of just passively waiting, but you need to be looking for these. These dash dances shouldn't just be a wait. Every dash in is a chance to trick him into throwing an up tilt here.
Okay.
You know? So when you're doing this, and then he shields, and it's like, oh great, I can do something, the Nair makes no sense because he's at 9%, but if you had drilled here, this would have been an excellent spot, because you did a drill, you got him to wave dash out, and you hit him with like a safe aerial. So like you can do things like this, and then if you had drilled right here and he wave dashed into it, that would have been good, because this drill is kind of, you know, safe. Like he was kind of shielding over here, he can't really like get over here and punish you for the drill, and you can potentially get an outplay by him wave dashing into it. But
yeah, I think I was hyper fixating on him jumping, so that's why I did that now. I'm like, he's probably going to jump here. And it's just like, well, like, that loses to 9 out of 10 of the other things that happen on the screen, right? Like, why would I press that?
So this is a small thing. This isn't part of really, like, the big thing that I'm talking about right here. But this wave dash back is useless. And I need to tell people, I've told people like 100 times, do not wave dash in neutral with Fox unless you are about to do a shine or an up tilt out of it. Yeah. Just don't do it, ever, because you correctly baited this drop. This was like a solid outplay. You hit him here, you dash in, you go, aha, I bet he is going to drop from the platform and aerial me, therefore I will dodge it. But if you had dashed back here, you would have been able to actually punish this and get, you know, he's committing to a drop and you get your punish. The wave dash back prevents that, and you're just kind of mad about it, so you go for the raw grab anyway. But that's how it is.
Okay, now that makes sense. I used to wave dash a fuck ton more, to be honest.
Yeah, just I'm glad you don't do it too much, because it's not very good. Yeah, so here we go. Again, we're in neutral. We're in neutral, so okay, he kind of commits here. Okay, we're in a deadlock. Okay, and then you just throw the drill. So if this drill hits, it's like, well, that's good. And if it misses and he hits you for it, you go, huh, that's bad. But if because you don't have a real reason, you didn't really try to outplay him here, when you watch the VOD later, even if you bring this VOD to me and I look at the VOD later, I'm not going to be able to tell you anything out of it except don't do this dare. Because you weren't... What you want is, man, I tried really hard to get him to commit, and then somehow I accidentally overcommitted and he hit me, and then you go, oh, like, maybe I should, you know, commit slightly less to that, or I need to be at a slightly different spacing to do that bait, and you have all these interesting things you can draw out of the VOD. But if you're not going for the outplay and you're just drilling kind of randomly and looking for the opening, it's not, you don't get anything out of it.
Right, okay, no, I understand.
And yeah, there's that wave dash again, ruining your whole day. Like, this was so good otherwise. You get this, but then all you had to do is just dash back, dash in, but because you wave dash, you lost the punish.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
Whoa. I think I was going for pivot F smash. I don't ask why.
So what happens here? How do you get this opening? Okay, yeah, that's just a scramble.
I tend to overthink shorten or full length, and I just like kind of freeze up. I'm just like, oh, it's gonna be shorten, and if it's a shorten, how am I gonna cover it? Like, definitely tend to freeze up a lot.
If he's close to ledge like this, it's a 50-50. I haven't found anything beyond that. Like, if he's right here, if you're insane, you can back air here and edge cancel and grab ledge, but
yeah, most
people aren't able to. Yeah, I see this wave dash back a lot here. This is ruining a lot of your movement, like right here. Because even if
when he's in the corner, I do it a fuck ton.
Yeah, because like right here, like look, if it, like let's say he does everything you could ever want, and instead of jumping here, he up smashes. Like, so you're like right here. So like right here, you dash in, and he's like, oh no, and like let's say he just hard reads you, and he like spot dodges or up smashes or something. Your wave dash back will make it so that he's even if he does his worst move here and up smash, you won't get a punish on him. So this was good. This was solid. Because look, you're moving in his face and you're like, hey, come out of the corner, you know, fight me, and then he kind of tries to, and you kind of move, and then you catch him while he's trying to push in on you, and that was good, and you got the kill out of it, which was really good. So good job there.
Right. Okay.
Okay, he just kind of hits you. Okay, you're messing around. That's fine. Okay.
I was trying to shield. But...
Yeah, I think this is fine. It's not amazing to do this drill, but it's so hard for the other fox to punish that it can almost be classified as a bait. So you get this. You could have Shine shielded here, or you missed it. It's okay.
Yeah, I was trying to wave Shine shield.
I see, yeah.
But I didn't get the grounded Shine. It was 1 frame early.
Okay, and then you lose the scramble. And now maybe we can see the big difference on this last stock, where you move around, and then bam, and you catch him here.
Yeah.
How different that is from like drilling in at those random spots, because you're kind of making yourself hard to hit, and then suddenly you've got a big opening. And I think Leffen is a great example of this, where like it feels like he's like, haha, you can't hit me, haha, you can't hit me, haha, you can't, and then somebody tries to reach a little bit too far to hit him, and suddenly he's whiff punished them and they're dead.
Right, okay.
Your punish and movement, with the exception of those wave dashes, is pretty good. Like, your punish is pretty good. Okay, let's grab this second video. I am already completely certain that the exact same issues will happen in this video, but no reason not to look at it.
Insane mix-up if they don't, though, right? Just learn straight like after one game.
Yeah. This is great. Grab. Okay, that's fine.
It hurts, dude.
There's that same drill.
Yeah, it hurts. I know what it stems from as well. That's the worst part. It stems from like a cringe ego thing where I'm like, I'm just better than this guy. I don't have to play properly. And then I'm just like, why am I not improving? You know, it's just gross behavior.
No,
dude, I'm so stupid. I'm trying to go for this shining them going to ledge. Like, I can hit it pretty consistently.
Oh, right
like,
there. I wouldn't go for that. Yeah. One thing I would actually suggest to you, separate from all this other stuff, is I would suggest going for more full hop out shines. And the reason is that you look very conservative and kind of like scared on your edge guards. And I know you said you have like kind of an issue with the side B shorten versus like the side B, and I think you need to kind of like loosen up a little bit on your edge guards and kind of just like, if you can hit Fox in neutral, you can hit him when he's off stage and he has no options and he's side B'ing, you know? So just kind of get some confidence, jump out there, go for some crazy edge guards, go for some full hop out fake edge guards, you know, go for some run off shine stall, double jump back airs. Just sort of mix it up a little bit. You look kind of like you're very stuck in this same pattern of like, you stand on stage and you try to react really hard and then they get back.
Yeah.
And I've been there. Okay, this Nair isn't too bad because he's so...
It felt bad. Just watching it, I felt the same energy. You know what I mean?
So the difference on this is that he overcommitted to his run, and so you are kind of positionally punishing it. Like, look, he's in his run animation, so it's very difficult for him to suddenly turn around, and he's close enough so that if you hit his shield, you'll get a cross-up on this Nair. So... if you feel like this Nair comes from the same place as those other things, then I would say, yeah, it's good to recognize that. But in terms of just raw, like, gameplay situations, this is a totally fine Nair.
Right, okay.
Ooh, so, aha, look at this. This is good. Instead of immediately hitting him. So the only problem is that right here, when you're doing this dash dance,
won't do anything about it.
When you're doing this dash dance, don't be like, I'm looking, like, you need to be like, every dash you do, so look, the rhythm of your dash dance matters. So each dash in you do, he will see that with his eyes and try to react. So look, when you do this dash in, he shields. And then he does a roll. You do this, so he can't react to this, right? But look, you do this dash in, and then he rolls. So you need to recognize that each dash in is a potential attack or like a threat, and he will react to that dash in with something. And so you have to be very ready each dash in. If he overcommits to something, you can hit him out of it. And like this is the main way you're going to get openings at high level, is by you doing a dash in. He believes you that you're going to come in, and you're not going to come in, and so he does something. You need to be really ready to grab this roll, like really, really ready. Like this is the whole purpose of this dash dance.
Right. Okay.
And so yeah, you got him on that retreating nair again, which is good. Okay. Okay, that was fine. And so this was fine because he was just on top of you for a while. So throwing out this shine is fine. It's not like you're just picking where he is randomly and throwing it out, and he was just on top of you, so you shined him. Like, yeah, that's fine. That was an overcommitment. Like, the thing is, not every overcommitment is a whiffed aerial. A lot of them are. A lot of them are obviously whiffed moves, but, you know, an overcommitment can be a little subtler, like maybe somebody full hopping in the corner. Like, you dash in, they full hop, and then you full hop nair, and they die or something, you know, like he's here where you are, and then you dash in, dash back, he full hops, and then you full hop nair him, and he dies or whatever. So a commitment can be a little bit, like, more abstract, and, like, a lot of times the better you get, the smaller and more subtle commitments you'll be able to pick out and punish.
Yeah. No, that sucks.
Okay, that's fine.
Was that down smash fine? Like, would you
no, but like, I wouldn't recommend it.
What would
the
you
thing
go
is,
for?
the thing
Just
is,
leave it?
this is I would recommend this against Falco because Falco has a really hard time sweet spotting the edge, but Fox will just hit it every time. Yeah, I would have left it. Like you're too far away. The thing is think about it. Your down smash was like maybe your only chance at hitting this, right? I mean, maybe if you were really fast, you could have run off shined here.
I
like,
was just thinking
maybe you could have run off and shined this. Like, maybe. But, like, ultimately, like, it's better to not... Like...
Also, tech shine just kills me, right? Like, if he's that good.
Yeah, and that's true. And this is a lot of those... This is, like, another one of those situations where it's like, yo, look, I did the down smash. If the down smash hits, you're like, I got him. I'm so good, you know? The down smash misses and you die, you're like, oh, I'm so bad. And it's like, that's all you can take from it, you know? It's like, this down smash is just not very good against Fox, and I wouldn't recommend doing it because, you know, you're not going to get the edge guard anyway. It's like, if you just waited here on the stage, you know, you didn't end up in a bad spot at all. You're fine. Okay.
One habit I used to have really badly also was just garbage in my invuln. Like when they were invuln, I would always just like dash dance in the corner.
Mm-hmm.
A lot.
This is good though. What you're doing here is good. This grab was okay. I'm not gonna. There wasn't like a. This was more like a scramble grab than anything, where you just kind of read his dash back and got it. So the thing is like. This is another one of those situations, kind of like that other nair, which is like if this grab had that energy of just like I'm gonna go for it and you get it, then like probably don't do it. But in terms of like after you've practiced a lot of outplaying and stuff and you're at a high level playing Fox Dittos, that was a fine grab to do. The thing is, it was like a good situation to try the grab if you're gonna gamble a grab, but ultimately it was still a gamble, and you want to minimize those.
And I have to be honest with myself, if someone did an aerial there, I would have been fucked.
Like, yeah, and you want to win every time. So there's no reason to do things that let people beat you sometimes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so definitely I think one thing you could make a lot better use of is fade back aerials and like in place aerials. A lot of times you'll see people do like run up, you know, fade back drill here. And I think that's really good. The reason for it is you're trying to trick them. You're saying, hey, I'm trying to trick you into whiff punishing my down air. But little did you know I'm fading it back, so you'll whiff your punish, and then I'll hit you, you know?
Right. I might as well give him like some visual stim. Yeah, like that.
Oh,
right?
Yeah, this is good. Yeah, look. So this is an example of a good outplay because you're like, hey, look, and then you do this nair, and he kind of thinks you might be like right here. So he kind of is like, oh, okay, I'm gonna avoid that nair. but then he gets greedy coming back in. He should have recognized, like, oh, this was a fade back. Like, this was a good play by you. You basically gained some space with the nair, and he wasn't able to punish it, and that's why these fade back aerials are often so good. So now you go, you know what? I think he's going to swing at that nair, and so you trick him by he approaches with the shine, and you catch him with the back air. So that was a good situation.
Right. I think I should have done a drill or something to cover the run-in, like a retreating drill.
Yeah, that would have been fine, too. So this was great for a second. I was gonna mention that your spacing was really good here because you're like, and remember you have to think about your dash-ins. Your dash-ins are special. Your dash-backs are special too because your dash-backs tell your opponent that you're gonna run away, and your dash-ins tell them that you're gonna try to attack them. So when he comes up here, you're like, look, I'm gonna give you space, and then you go, no, I'm not. I'm coming back in. No, I'll give you space. No, I'm not. I'm coming back in. The problem is that you're not doing it at a range where you're threatening options because he was completely out of your range this whole time. So even though you were saying those things, he has no reason to believe you. It's like someone on the internet saying they're gonna beat you up, and they're like, you're like, where you even live? Like, you have no idea what, like, you're not in range. You know,
just ghosted me.
So you go from a situation where there are no commitments and you're completely safe, and then you just do this jump in, you know, and you get hit. And so I think, like, something to keep in mind is just, like, this is kind of a game of what you can get away with, because you really want to be like, how close can I get to pulling the trigger without pulling the trigger? You know, because if it really looks like you're going to pull the trigger, and you look really hard like you've committed to something, he is going to be way more likely to swing at you. And a lot of times, the play from, like, sort of mid-level to high-level to top-level, the biggest difference is how well you can communicate your lies. Like, when I am playing someone who's kind of alright and they're kind of a mid-level, they'll try to do threats, they'll try to get me to swing at stuff, but I'm not going to believe them, because I can tell, you know, they're sitting across the room from me being like, I'm going to hit you, and I'm like, no, you're not, you're like 10 feet away from me. They're waving their arm like they're going to swing their fist at you. They're like, oh, here it comes, and you're like, yo, I'm like 10 feet away from you, I'm not going to do anything. And so it's like, when, you know, when you're fighting someone who's really, really good, they'll do a move, and it really, like, all of their movements, everything, like the last 3 seconds of the gameplay, all lined up to tell you this attack is coming. You know, here it comes right now. Deal with it right now. And you go, here it comes, and you spot dodge, and then Mango just murders you. You know.
No, that makes sense. It's very apparent as well. Just like, now that I'm like aware of it, right? It's like, oh yeah, of course I'm mashing drill. Like, it's so obvious now that I can see it. You know what I mean? And it's kind of weird that, like, I can't see a lot of those things sometimes. It's interesting.
That's just how this game is. It's really complicated, and it's a lot of times it's very difficult to see what you're doing wrong, and a lot of times, you know, that's another big struggle of being in, like, an area like where you are, and, like, an environment that you're in. And that's why, like, a lot of it, you need to be very, like, I think actually, like, as you improve at this, you'll sort of get the hang of it more. Like, I think when you get the feeling down more of, like, getting the outplay, and then when you try to do the outplay and you get hit, and then you go back and you watch your VOD, and there's, like, a very clear overcommitment where you think you're not committing. You think you're, like, being really careful and, like, you're making it look good, but you actually, it only looked so good because you were actually just in harm's way and he just hits you, you know?
Yeah.
And so, like, then you'll be like, oh, okay, and you'll be able to work off your VODs a lot more. And I think once you sort of get a taste of that, it'll sort of, anytime you're watching your VODs and you're not getting a lot out of it, you need to start really considering, like, wait a minute, like, am I really looking for outplays here? Like, why am I not getting a lot of info out of my VODs?
I think that's kind of like the main reason I wanted to get that coaching, right? Because I'm just like, I feel like I'm kind of stagnating. Like, I think I need like I guess I want to say like a refresher. Because when you go over there, you truly realize how dog you are at the game. You know what I mean? Like, you're just like, oh damn, like homie 22 in losers round 2 kind of stunting right now.
Homie
like
22.
Fuck me. Yeah, it's a different game, and it's just like, like when you get back, you're just like, yeah, everyone here is just like doing this, this, and this. But then you slowly forget, and you're just like, wait, what was the game like again?
I totally feel you. That's how things were pre-net play era, where like before, you know, there's like people who are top 5, and I would play Mango or I'd play Armada, and I'd be like, wow, that's really what it's like, you know.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
then I would come back home and forget it all. And something that actually helped me with that is I would imagine that they're just like in the room behind me watching. Like I would imagine like Leffen's just like kind of over my shoulder, like looking and being like, "You'll never beat me playing like that," and being, and I'll be like,
Leffen is just sleep paralysis demon.
Yeah, pretty much.
He's just like, nice legend. He's just like, no, Leff.
Pretty much. It helped to think about it. Just, I would imagine Armada and Leffen in the corner, and they're watching my friendlies, and they're kind of just like kind of laughing, like, ah ha ha, look, he just goes for that down air for no reason, ah ha ha, and I would just be like, like and so I think that's sort of like a way to maybe like help you remember it, you know. But I do think that this was a really good time for you to get a lesson. And I think that,
I think
like,
this is crucial.
And I think that, like I said, once you get the taste of, like, oh, I'm, you know, able to get so much out of my VODs now because, like, I know what I'm trying to do, and when it doesn't work, I can adjust it based on the VOD. I think it'll kind of set up that pattern in your brain to, like, really get a lot better from there if you follow through on it.
No, I completely get it. And I appreciate going through it, too. It was definitely a lot of fun. It was, like, it's just nice... I guess, like, it sounds a bit weird, just, like, being the little dog, you know what I mean? Because it's just, like, I feel like a lot of the time when, like, I'm, like, watching VODs with people, I'm like, yeah, like, look at this, man, like, how didn't you see that, man? Like, when it's done, like, vice versa, it's like, oh, right. It's like, when you point it out, right, it's like, damn, this dude, Homie22 doing dog shit dares over and over, it's like, oh, he's probably got to stop that. But I'm, like, not realizing it, right? Like, I'm looking at it and I'm like, wow, I guess this truly is... I'm not delusional and think it's a problem-free VOD, right? Like, obviously. But I'm just like, I can't find it. Where's the puzzle piece? But when it's staring you in the face, it's a bit embarrassing. But I guess that's just how it is. It's
just how it is, man. It's a really hard game. I get what you're saying, though, because you're like, where is it? And I'm like, it's right there. And you look back, and then it's there, and you're like, dude...
And then it's there like 20 more times. You're
yeah.
Like, oh, go away. It's like, please never have been there in the first place.
But yeah,
I definitely got a lot to work on from that, and I appreciate it. Hey, you like that Punish game though? Do you like that?
Yeah, no, your Punish is looking really good. The tech chases are looking really good. That's a very important part of the game. So once you work on that neutral game a little bit and start thinking about it in a better way, I think you can put some stuff together and be a threat to people. You know.
Thanks, dude. I appreciate it.
So yeah, thanks.
I'm happy to call it there if you are.
Yeah, I think it's a good point to call it. Thanks for getting the lesson, and I think that went well, and it's always fun to try to help people out when they're at kind of this stage in the game, so... Yeah,
for sure. Big ups to the Triangle Gang in chat, too.
Yeah, let's go Triangle Gang.
I'm waiting for Josh to threaten me. Fucking hell. Alright, take it easy, Ryan. Thanks again.
Alright, man. Have a good night, or day. Later.
You too. See ya.